Whoa. 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 Did you feel that? It felt like an earthquake or like a collapse or something. I don't know, but it felt like the Clippers. You know what I mean? The Clippers were terrible. The Clippers, they're overrated, man. Overrated side. The Clippers, the LA Clippers lost to the Denver Nuggets 104-89. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I was wrong. So there's a lot of people I talked to, they expected the Clippers to win because they have Kawhi Leonard, the best player in the NBA. And hey, I honestly thought the Clippers would win. I expected them to win. Did I want them to win? You know who you're talking to? No, I did not want them to win, but I predicted them to win, and I'll own up to my L. I took a fat L, just like the Clippers did. And I predicted Kawhi would have a phenomenal game, an iconic game, a game that would mean so much to his legacy, that would boost his legacy status by so much, and he would ice the game with some clutch buckets in a close game, and which would lead to a win for the Clippers. But you know what? I was wrong. I was so wrong. I love that I was wrong. I was wrong for 3 reasons. Let me tell you that. 1, the Clippers lost. I predicted them to win. Number 2, the Clippers got blown out. I predicted the Clippers would win in a close game. And number 3, I predicted Kawhi would have a great game. On the contrary, he had a bad game. Not just a bad game, he had a terrible game. This is probably the worst I've ever seen Kawhi Leonard play in the entire NBA. Yes, he's probably put up worse numbers, less points, less rebounds, less assists, more turnovers, more fouls. But with the expectations, not just that the Clippers had, but that he had himself to perform, to step up in Game 7, in an elimination game, he had his worst game ever. And let me tell you why. Let's bring up the numbers. Let's bring up the numbers about Kawhi's game in Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets. So, Kawhi Leonard, 14 points, 27% from the field, 29% from 3. Not good. 6 out of 22 from the field, 2 out of 7 from 3. I don't know about y'all, but that's bad. That's real bad. That's terrible. And he had 6 assists, which is good because Kawhi's not that much of a playmaker, so that's pretty good for him. But 6 rebounds for Kawhi Leonard, aka Boardman, that's not a lot of boards for you, Boardman. And not just that, but in the second half, dude, he was terrible. First half, he was not bad. First half, he was, 5 of 11, which is, it's okay. But second half, 1 of 11. 2 points, dog. 2 points. Kawhi only had 2 points in the second half against the Nuggets in Game 7. So can we stop saying, not me, not we as in like the sports media, sports fan world. Can we stop saying Kawhi is the best player in the NBA? He's better than LeBron, better than KD. He's not. He just proved to us last night that he's not. He's not even number 2. He's not better than KD, and he's not even close to LeBron. This is how it goes. LeBron, KD, Kawhi. It was LeBron, KD, Kawhi. Or LeBron, Kawhi, KD, or however you want to go. It was all like right here. But now it's LeBron, KD, close second, LeBron. It was, sorry, I'm so dumb right now. Sorry, I'm like the Clippers. It was LeBron. It's LeBron, KD, second close, Kawhi. He was bad. There's nothing you could do about it. I mean, Kawhi Leonard. Y'all thought he was really the best player in the NBA. Yes, okay. He had an iconic playoff run against when he was with the Raptors, and he hit that amazing game-winning corner step back three in Joel Embiid's face that bounced a trillion times on the rim and went ding 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 in Game 7 win. Then he goes on to be the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals and becomes not just an NBA champ, but NBA Finals MVP for the second time with a second team. That's phenomenal. And we all expected that from Kawhi. Hey, if you're gonna be held to that standard, or if you're gonna be regarded as that guy, you have to be held to that standard as that guy, as LeBron has, KD, Kobe, MJ, you name them. You have to be held accountable, because if you're gonna play bad, and you're this great player, and you play terrible, that's not gonna slide. You're not gonna let the NBA media and NBA fans, most emphasizing NBA Twitter. No way, they're not gonna let him slide. And you know what? We all thought he was gonna be good. I thought he was gonna be good. I thought he was gonna be so good. Game 7, because everyone doubted him. Not everyone doubted him, but everyone had their eyes on Kawhi, and I thought Kawhi would step up and be that guy and just deliver. He was not that at all. And last night, he wasn't even the best player. He wasn't just the best player. He wasn't the second best player, and he was not the third best player at all. The two best were on the Nuggets on the other team. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Those two were the two best players in that game. And the third best player was on the Clippers. And no, it was not Paul George. It was actually Montrezl Harrell. He had 20 points and 6 rebounds in 26 minutes. What did Kawhi have? 14 points in 40 minutes. Man, it's not looking good for him. But in summary, Kawhi, he is the most overrated superstar in the NBA. When he was with the Spurs, when he won this first Finals MVP, it could easily went to Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, or Tim Duncan. It could have been easily one of those three. But it went to Kawhi because he held LeBron. He made it hard for LeBron to score, even though LeBron ended up still averaging like 28, 6-6, or 7-7, his regular average, his career averages. So he won Finals MVP for playing defense. Okay, good, cool. He won just like Iguodala won for the Warriors. Cool. But his second Finals MVP. Now let me tell you, if Iguodala, who was hurt, Clay, who left in Game 6, if he got hurt in Game 6, he was having a terrific game in Game 6, and if KD, who miraculously came back that series, shouldn't have came back, if those three were healthy, or if those three were healthy, it could have been a sweep or a gentleman's sweep. That's how bad it could have been. Now, if it was just Clay and Iggy that came back, it would have been closer, probably, but I still take the Warriors in 6 or 7. Now, if Iggy was back, then yes, it would have probably been a different story. But you know what? He won it against Steph and Draymond. So, props to you, Kawhi. You're a 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time champion. That's it. That's all you have to be happy for. you are not as good as what people say. You're not true number one. You know who you are. And not just that, his number two guy was, I mean, can we expect any more out of PG, or as Skip calls him, GP, George Paul? He is also overrated. He is the most overrated second star in the NBA. Now, like I said, we all knew Paul George was going to play like straight trash. We all knew that. I mean, they don't call him PG 13% for no reason. Shoot. I mean, when does he ever play good in elimination games? Like, once every blue moon? Okay. In his last 5 elimination games, he's averaging 20 points per game on 37% shooting with a 1-4 record. So we already knew. I mean, I expected Kawhi to play good, but I did not expect Paul George to play good at all. I knew he was going to be garbage, and he was worse than garbage. He was dirt garbage. He was sewer garbage. He was garbage. He was bad. Look, these were his stats, right? 10 points on 25% shooting from the field, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 turnovers, and 4 steals. And people regard him as the second best two-way player in the NBA. For one, I mean, Murray dropped 40. Yes, you could put that in Kawhi, but you could also put that in PG because Gary Harris was also playing pretty good too. And dude, 10 points? That's his worst scoring game in all of his elimination games. That's the lowest scoring one, and he had his best teammate ever. Yet he only put up 10 points. Not only that, 2 assists with 5 turnovers and 4 fouls, even though he's one of the best defenders in the NBA. Okay. Sure. So, we can honestly say Paul George is not a top 10 player. No way, no how, no way, Jose. He is nowhere near a top 10 player. And you know what? Is he top 15? I don't know. I don't think so. Top 20? Now that's debatable. Imagine that you were top 3 in MVP voting last year. You were the 3rd best player in the NBA last year. Well, you had the 3rd best season last year in the NBA. But this year, you were complete trash. Paul George was complete trash. George Paul was complete trash. Now, check this out. Last year, what team did he play for? Oklahoma City Thunder. So the Clippers had to trade for Paul George, right? This is who they traded away Paul George for. They traded away Danilo Gallinari, who can easily drop 20 to 25 points in his sleep. That's how good of a scorer he is when he's healthy. Not only him, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is a future NBA All-Star and could have been the future guard of the Clippers for 10, 15 years. Who knows? Like 10 years. That could have been your future star. But get this. Not just 1, not just 2, not just 3, not just 4, but 5 first-round picks. So not only did they trade away a 20-point-per-game scorer, a future All-Star, but 5 first-round picks. And it's not like, yes, you could say, oh, there could have been like late first-round picks, but a first-round pick is a first-round pick for 5 years. They traded away their whole future. And look, 2021, 22, 23, 24, and 2026. Those are the years. So not only did you trade away 5 years, 6 years of draft picks, of competent draft picks, but you also traded away your future point guard. So that's about 10 years of your future traded away for a second round exit. And yeah, Paul George denied that this wasn't an a championship or bust season. He denied it. But you know who didn't? You know who said it was? Kawhi Leonard, Lou Williams, Doc Rivers, and pretty much everyone on the Clippers. Now look, yeah, it could have been, oh, we got so much time. There's no need to rush. That could have been true, but did they sign a 4-year or 5-year deal? No. 3-year? No. They signed a 2-year deal with the Clippers, and that's this year. One of them is this year and next year, I believe. That's it. After next year, they enter free agency. Do you think the Clippers are going to want to pay for Paul George after this, not even just this series, but the entire playoffs? Like I said, Paul George is the most overrated second star in the NBA. But hey, it's not just his fault. Don't worry, there's more blame to go around. Don't worry about it. The coach, Doc Rivers, a.k.a. Dave Roberts. Doc Rivers, you are the most overrated coach in NBA history. He has so much to blame. He takes up so much piece of that blame of pie, that, man, that's a big bite. But you know what? I knew it. I should have known. I should have known that Doc Rivers was completely overrated as a coach. Yes, he's a championship winning coach. Wow, congrats. But you know who else is? Ty Lue. Do people think Ty Lue's a good coach? They think he's a coach, like he's worthy of a head coaching job. But do they think he's a great head coach? The status that Doc Rivers is held at? I don't think so. So yeah, he won a ring. He won a ring with the Celtics against Kobe and the Lakers. Yes, he did that. And he massively overachieved with last year's Clippers and made it a tough series against KD and the Warriors. But that's it. What else has he done? He extremely underachieved with the Lob City Clippers that have a plethora of stars in Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. 3. Chris Paul in his prime, Blake Griffin in his prime, DeAndre Jordan in his prime. You know who else they had? They had an abundance of excellent role players. Jamal Crawford in his prime, JJ Redick in his prime, Matt Barnes. Who else did they have? Caron Butler. They had so many good players. Yet, what was the best they ever did? Oh, what this year's Clippers did. Yeah, they lost in second round. Yeah. Let's see. What else did he do? What else did Doc Rivers do? Let's see. Okay, this is pretty good. He has the most Game 7 losses with 8 L's. Pretty good. All right. He has lost the most series while with a 3-1 lead with 3 of them. Okay. He's pretty garbage. Not to mention, he needed Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, and arguably the best defensive roster in NBA history to win 1 ring out of 2 times making it to the finals with that roster. While the East, they just had LeBron. That's it. Yes, they also had Dwight Howard, But LeBron and Dwight Howard, and you have those four with one of the best rosters, with the best defensive roster almost ever. How is he better than Ty Lue, who coached a team that coincidentally came back in a 3-1 series, in a 3-1 series against the Golden State Warriors? That's who Ty Lue coached. Ty Lue coached LeBron and the Cavs in the greatest comeback in NBA history in the finals against the 73-9 Warriors. That's what Ty Lue did. Let's see, who else? Is he better than Nick Nurse? Nick Nurse just acquired Kawhi Leonard, and they beat the Warriors. They, with pretty much a new roster and his first time coaching, and he won his first year with pretty much the odds stacked against him. That they were pretty much the underdog in almost every series. Who else? Rick Carlisle, who coached Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs to upset LeBron and the Heatles with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. So how is Doc Rivers better than Ty Lue, Rick Carlisle, and Nick Nurse, who've all won a ring at a greater disadvantage than the Clippers, than Doc Rivers had with all the talent, with all the talent he's played with, he's coached. Doc Rivers is the most overrated coach in NBA history. And this year is probably his worst coaching job ever. His team, the favorite to win the NBA title, they have the most talented roster, as what a lot of NBA analysts and experts have said. I mean, they have their starting five. They have Patrick Beverley, they have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Zubac, right? Off the bench, Sixth Man of the Year, Montrezl Harrell. Sixth Man of the Year, Lou Williams. Who else do they have? Landry Shamet, JaMychal Green. None of them are scrubs. Yet they lost in the second round. Let's see, what else? What else have they said about it? They also have the best player in the NBA in Kawhi Leonard. They also had the most depth in the NBA with two, not just one, but two Sixth Man of the Year winners coming off the bench for you. And they were enormous favorites to beat the Denver Nuggets, in which they led the series 3-1. And in two of those games, in the first 3 games, they were completely dominating the Nuggets. Yet they still found a way to lose 3 games in a row to the Denver Nuggets, who have Jamal Murray and Jokic, that are like their established stars. Sorry, I'm getting hot right now. I'm getting pretty mad because of how much this Clipper team, how much praise they've gotten, yet they've done nothing. And let me get at that. They done nothing. They lost not in the conference finals, not in the finals or the conference finals, but in the second round. The lower you are, or the earlier you are in the playoffs, the less the competition is, the less talent there is. Yet you lost. You should have lost in the first round, but you choked in the second round. You should have lost against the Mavs if Luka didn't get his ankle hurt by Marcus Morris, who played hella dirty. If Porzingis didn't get hurt and stayed in the game and stayed in this entire series, and if he didn't get stupidly ejected in the first game, the Clippers could have got swept in the first round. That's how overrated they are. So yeah, what have the Clippers done? What have they seriously done? I mean, they walk around the NBA talking about, oh man, regular season, who cares? Load management, of course. I'm gonna take the regular season off. Who cares? Who cares if our entire roster plays for about 10 to 15 games the entire season? Who cares? But you know what? That's why they lost. That's why they lost. They thought they were so good. They thought they were better than every single team in the NBA. But yet, they've done absolutely nothing to earn that respect from any team, let alone the Lakers. And who do the Clippers have that they think they could walk around as if they're the reigning, if they're the defending champions? The only player who made it to the finals, the only player who won a ring, let alone made it to the finals, is Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, did you hear him talking at all? Yes, he had that commercial, but Kawhi sounding whatever. But did you hear him talking like Patrick Beverley or Paul George or Lou Will or Montrezl Harrell or Zubac or Marcus Morris? No, because he knew what it took to get there. But did his other teammates know? Hell no. No way. No way. No how. I need to chill for a minute. These Clippers are making me stressed. Okay. I think I'm good. Anyways, in reality, this Clipper team, they're a bunch of cocky front runners. They thought they were so good. They haven't done jack. They haven't done jack shiz. They have done nothing, yet they think they did something. This entire organization is complete trash. It's completely overrated. Los Angeles will never be a Clipper town. It will always be a Laker town. And the totem pole doesn't just go Lakers and Clippers. Oh, no. It goes Lakers, and then probably the Dodgers, and then USC Trojans, and then it probably goes UCLA basketball. What else is there? Then it probably goes the LA Sparks after that, and then it probably goes the Clippers or the Angels. That's how bad the Clippers are. So can we stop saying that this Clippers team? Can we stop saying the Clippers will ever be an LA team? Be the LA team? The LA team? I mean, what have they done? They have done nothing to be called the LA team. They have nothing to make LA a Clipper town. LA, Los Angeles will always be a Laker town. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Don't get it twisted. Thanks for listening, guys. I had to go on this crazy rant about the Clippers. I researched so much about these Clippers, and you know what? I'm glad they're out of my life. They're out of my hair. I don't have to talk about them anymore, because right now it's gonna be a lot easier. Because the biggest obstacle in the Lakers' way to the NBA Finals just got bounced out of Orlando. And look, the Lakers are not going to be like the Clippers. They're not going to think, oh, it's easy. 17 title on the way. No doubt about it. Don't even worry about it. Let me kick back, relax, LeBron, don't worry. AD, don't worry. No need to refilm. You can rest, chill out, go on the golf course, whatever. You could play a 2K, Madden, whatever. It's easy. No. The Lakers aren't going to do that. Lakers aren't stupid like the Clippers. They're going to take the Nuggets for real. They're not going to underestimate the Nuggets, because the Nuggets just whooped the Clippers. And the Clippers were the biggest challenge to the Lakers. And if and when, okay, I predict the Lakers will win. But if and when the Lakers beat the Nuggets, they're going to go against the Boston Celtics or the Miami Heat. And they're no slouch either. So, enough about them. Enough about the other teams. The Clippers are trash. Clipper fans, you are trash. You are the worst fans in the NBA. The Lakers will always rule this town. Don't even think about it. So thank you guys again for listening. It has been great. It has been great. And thank you again for listening. Sorry, there's technical difficulty that just really pissed me off right now. But thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. It's going to be a banger. All right. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wear a mask. Use hand sanitizer. Wash your damn nasty hands. Take a damn shower. Put on deodorant. Do whatever you got to do to stay healthy and to lower down this COVID stuff. So we can all go to watch these games. And we can all go to the parade on Sepulveda. We all go into the parade on Figueroa. You know what I mean? All right, y'all. Catch y'all later. And peace.